A message from Gaia to humanity. Love increases as it is given away. I have been a student of A Course in Miracles now since 2004, and while I still read a chapter section each morning and practice my daily workbook lesson, as I have done so for years, I also continue to investigate and often pursue other related spiritual, paranormal, and psychic areas. And I absolutely love to share insights and new perspectives as they come to me. That being said, sometime around mid-April 2023, I began a journey into a new and unusual type of inner exploration. An exploration which, I promise you, comes back around to the core teaching of A Course in Miracles, if you have the patience to hang in there with me as I share this personal experience. I began a program developed by Robert Monroe, founder of the Monroe Institute, whose main credit is for developing the process of creating out-of-body experiences and exploration of focus levels within those areas beyond our physical senses. I will briefly describe how this process works through something called brainwave entrainment. It is known in the scientific community that our left and right brain hemispheres are not equally active at all times. The left side is used for activities requiring logic, such as speech, reading, interpretation, and comprehension of the physical world, and math. The logical left side is usually the more active half of our brain in use while we go about our day-to-day waking activities. The right side is used for activities requiring creative imagination, such as drawing, painting, playing a musical instrument, reading. This is also a left brain activity, which is why it is so good for your brain. Singing, and playing games that require the use of your imagination. It should be noted that activities such as hypnosis and meditation both occur primarily in the right, creative side of the brain, as one might expect. However, the hemi-sync process is neither hypnosis nor meditation because it creates a state in which both halves of the brain are equally active. What Robert Monroe figured out was how to balance the energy waves of both hemispheres of the brain equally, which he later called hemi-sync, or hemispherical synchronization. From Wikipedia. According to his own account, while self-experimenting with sleep learning, an attempt to convey information to a sleeping person through the use of sound during a sleep state, in 1958, Monroe experienced an unusual phenomenon, which he described as sensations of paralysis and vibration accompanied by a bright light that appeared to be shining on him from a shallow angle. Monroe went on to say that this occurred another 9 times over the next 6 weeks, culminating in his first out-of-body experience. What Monroe had discovered is that if 2 different tones, also called binaural beats, were played in each ear, the brain would reconcile these 2 frequencies through hearing the difference or vibration between the tones, rather than just one tone or the other. This causes the brain waves to come into alignment with the vibration as well, through a process called brainwave entrainment, where the brain waves sync with or match the frequency being heard, a process that typically takes up to 7 minutes of continuous listening. Once entrained, this state of mind is ideal for altered mind experiences, which can vary depending on external guided instructions or intent of the listener. It could be an out-of-body type of experience, or become what some might refer to as a spiritual experience, such as traveling to deep inner states where one can visit deceased loved ones, angels, and other higher vibrational beings and dimensional spaces. Monroe refers to each of these altered states of awareness as focus levels. Needless to say, once I began my research of the gateway process, I was intrigued. And now here is the story of one of my experiences, the energy systems of Gaia. This experience happened on June 24th, 2023, through the hemi-sync gateway process. It was a guided exploration of the different energetic aspects of the Earth, culminating in meeting with the energy being who is in charge of the entire planet, whom I refer to as Gaia. Once my mind was entrained or synced through a structured mental process, combined with listening to binaural beats or tones, I was instructed by the audio guide on the recording to focus on the mineral kingdom of the earth. At once, my mind engaged with the soil, the very rocks and minerals of the earth. I could sense how the minerals vibrated with a slow, quiet stillness, with imperceptible change from our perspective of time. Then I understood how they changed. I saw how water gave its energy to the land, shaping it, changing it, and causing certain molecules to attract to form different types of rocks, soil, and crystals. Water was the vehicle of change for these slow-moving particles that make up the ground we walk on. Air played a part too, but it was water that caused the most change with its deep reach down into the ground and ability to carve and move the earth with both great and small force. Then a rich, melodious feminine voice entered my mind, not the recorded audio guide, as I watched all this unfold, saying, "Do you see how the quiet, small, still energy of the minerals is given more life by the greater energy of the water? Do you see how together, through their combined energy, they increase, becoming more than they were before, separately?" "Yes," I replied. "I see how the energy increases from less to more, from the separate components of each mineral and the molecules that make up that mineral to becoming a greater mass as these molecules come together as soil, rocks, and crystals through the borrowed energy of water." Next, I witnessed how these minerals were carried up into the vegetation of the world through, yet again, the borrowed energy of water. Water carried the minerals from the soil into the plant bodies, and there combined to open seeds, create leaves, bark, and all other plant-based material. All this from minerals and water combining their energy. The feminine voice entered my mind again, saying, "Do you see how love increases as it is given away? As energy, which is love, is given to another system, they combine to create a new and greater outcome. Each is more than the sum of its parts." This was starting to blow my mind away. Now I fully understood how soil and plants are affected by water. I know how the chain of life works. However, I had never considered the details of the process of life from an increasing energetic perspective before. I never considered how minerals are quiet and appear slow-moving to the point of changelessness in a human life. But once combined with water, these minerals can shift quickly and also be taken up by plants, which then grow and change faster than the minerals themselves could ever do alone. Next, I was shown how animals ingest the plants, which then went on to form their bodies, which again are quite different than the plants or the minerals each alone. I witnessed how the animals are capable of energetic movement at a more rapid pace than the plants. Minerals are part of the earth and appear unable to move at all. Plants can move by growing upward, but are tethered to the earth. And animals are free to roam wherever they please. The voice entered my mind yet again, saying, "Do you see how, as energy or love is given away, it also increases the freedom and the life of both the giver and receiver? It increases the rate and capability for change, growth, and movement are both enhanced. Indeed, I could see that clearly. Again, rocks and soil appear stagnant to us, but add water and they have the needed energy for movement and change. Plants can then form out of this union of the minerals and water, which grow and change even faster than rocks. Then, out of the union of minerals and plants comes the energy animals need, whose bodies grow and change even faster. Fascinating. Each union experiences an increase in energy as combinations give their energy over. Then the voice said to me, "Do you see how humans come into this picture? You gain energy from these systems through your own interaction as well. You participate on all levels of creation. You consume the minerals, plants, animals, and water to give energy to your bodies. Your bodies are made of the very fabric of the earth. The next level of energy to be given forward then, to create an increase in love, is with your mind. Your thoughts are what you use your body for while in this world. Thought is expressed through the energy of your mind and manifested in the physicality around you. How would you manifest? With hate, fear, and negativity, or with love? I pondered this familiar idea that I first learned from A Course in Miracles, presented to me now in a new way. Love increases as it is given away. We are part of this cycle of increasing love through giving, and what we as humans give to this cycle are the vibrations of our thoughts. A Course in Miracles states, "I have said you have but two emotions, love and fear. One is changeless but continually exchanged, being offered by the eternal to the eternal. In this exchange it is extended, for it increases as it is given." End quote. The voice gave me time to integrate this new perspective, then said, "What you think, you manifest. Your energy combines with the world around you in such a force that mountains can be moved. Therefore, be patient with yourself. Monitor your thinking. Think first with love, then care, and then peace. By this I am saying, let your first reaction be love, because of your deep union with the energy of creation on every level. Next, use care, because you must decide how best to express that loving energy to the part of your oneness you are thinking about. Then lastly, be sure the intended outcome is always peace, for any disharmony in the cycle will cause a break in the chain of love's increase, and you will experience a form of lack." I was then propelled forward in the process by a suggestion from the audio recording to move through the layers of the earth until I reached its center. I did so, and found myself traveling deeply down through the earth's crust, past lava, and finally arriving at the center. Here, I was unexpectedly engulfed in a swirling white light. The light was supremely loving and feminine. I knew I had reached the heart of Gaia. Next, the audio guide on the recorded exercise instructed me to move to the very center of this light. And there I saw a glorious, six-faceted, clear crystal that gleamed with all the colors of the rainbow. It was gigantic and stood upright. I could see the top end was wider than the bottom, so it had tapered down in a pointed appearance. I could also see energy coming in through the wider top and pouring down out of the narrower end to form a circle of energy circulating around the earth, coming out of the bottom, then to be drawn in again at the top, like the beating of a great heart whose love encompassed the whole earth as a complete living being. Except this process felt reversed to me. If I had it my way, I'd flip the crystal the other way around, so that the wide end was at the bottom and the narrower end pointed up. It seemed more appropriate to have the energy coming up from the bottom and exiting out the top to encircle the earth like a fountain. The voice, whom I now understood to be Gaia, stated, "You are correct. I am in the process of reversing this energy flow. Humanity's awakening to the truth of your integration with all that is will help give birth to this process. The reversal of my energy signifies the reversal of your own thoughts from dark to light, which are the catalyst for positive change on all levels of creation." She went on to say, "It is humanity's common misperception that my physical imbalances are rooted in my physical problems, such as pollution, all forms of human mismanagement. But in truth, my only imbalance is an energetic problem. Once the energetic imbalance is corrected, the physical healing follows suit. So it is with your own bodies, and so it is with mine, and we are connected. Heal your thoughts, and you heal bodies. The power of loving energy in the form of your thoughts and beliefs is the catalyst for change in all things you see." I bathed in this message, taking in the deep, tender, motherly love, compassion, and understanding it contained. It seemed to me that Mother Earth did not want to punish or destroy humanity for its mistakes, but rather looked upon us as part of herself, her children, and merely wanted to help guide us onto the path of healing. I also understood that we as individuals could help her flip her crystal heart around, shifting the flow of energy into a positive, upward direction by shifting the energy of our thoughts into a positive, upward direction. Then I turned and looked around me while contemplating what she said to me. However, what I beheld astonished me. There were people gathered around the crystal heart. They appeared to be living there as a community of some sort. I could make out dwelling areas, community gathering areas, and pathways, though no structure had a roof, but only low walls to designate these areas. It was spread out far and wide. The crystal heart itself seemed to generate a gentle light that showed me a whole civilization that dwelled on this higher frequency plane, hemi-sync focus 27. This light shone equally on all things and all places, casting no shadow anywhere. The people wore long, colorful robes, had straight white hair, and appeared to be very tall, perhaps 8 to 10 feet in height. I could not make out a skin color as they seemed to glow with a gentle light. They were walking around, seemingly unaware of my presence as they went about their business. This was entirely unexpected. I wanted to investigate this city more, but the guided recording I was listening to told me it was time to come back. I would have to revisit this place during another session. I would like to clarify here that none of the details of this adventure were described in the guided recording. The hemi-sync recordings are kept as vague and non-descriptive as possible to allow each listener to have their own experience. This was just one of many interesting and educational experiences I've had through the use of the hemi-sync process. I'll share more as I'm inspired to. This particular experience seemed to be something Gaia herself wanted me to share, as I felt deeply guided to write this story down. And with respect to water being an energy force of love for creation, new meaning was brought to me when I remembered Jesus' words in the Bible. "But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst. Indeed, the water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up to eternal life." John 4:13. And also the quote from Revelation 22:1. "And he showed me a river of water of life, bright as a crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb." End quote. it brings to my mind how the loving energy of our Creator flows through all things like water into the earth, seeping into every crack and crevice, nourishing and bringing life energy and love to all it touches. May we each do our part as beings partaking in the ever-increasing circle of giving and receiving of God's love. Let us remember to keep our thoughts in alignment with love, care, and peace, as instructed by Gaia herself, that we may come into alignment with her heart and reverse the negative energy of this world, transforming it into a heavenly, peaceful place.